guys, it's Gwen. What's up? This is a part 2 of my accident story time. There's a few things that I want to talk about. There's a few things I need to clear up. Yeah, so let's get into it. So if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, go check it out. I'll link it down below. Basically, I was in a car crash. I hit a ditch. And something I wanted to talk about was, in the last video I didn't mention any injuries, and then a few days ago I was posting on social media, or at least one of my platforms, that I was in the ER and had a possible brain bleed. And so I'm going to explain that real quick. When I got into the car accident, I did not get checked out by an ambulance. I didn't go to the doctor because, you know, there were a few symptom signs that was like, maybe you should get checked out. But like, I felt fine enough to just go home and rest, which is a bad idea. I don't recommend it to anybody. I think you should always get checked out. That was a really poor decision, like on my end, because about 4 days later I had been having headaches every single day. So before this all happened, I passed a kidney stone. If you look back into a video a few weeks ago, I mentioned it. I passed a kidney stone while working, and then I got a kidney infection the very next week. On top of the car accident, I also have a kidney infection, and you know, 4 days goes by and I've had headaches every single day. I feel feverish, nauseous, my kidney hurts, a lot of different symptoms all at once. And I ended up going to the emergency room pretty close to my hometown, and they did a CT on my head and a CT on my abdomen. The CT on my abdomen showed that I have several stones in both kidneys. I'm on new antibiotics for the kidney infection because it is still there. Now for the scarier part, what y'all have been waiting to hear about. They did a CT and she confirmed that I had a concussion. All my symptoms matched a concussion. I'm sensitive to light, which is really funny because I have a ring light pointed directly at me right now. Good idea. But yeah, I'm sensitive to light right now. I still have headaches. I got really confused after the car accident. Someone was asking me my name and I couldn't answer them for like a good 30 minutes. And you know, I still am a little foggy on and off, but I'm feeling a little bit better. And so they did a CT and she said she saw something that looked like a brain bleed. And so I'd already been there for like 2.5 hours, and they had me wait 4 more hours to get a second head CT to make sure it's not a brain bleed. After the second CT, she didn't say it's not a brain bleed. She just said she didn't know what it was, and it's in the middle of my brain, but it's small. So she said it's not emergent, but we're gonna keep doing scans to make sure it doesn't grow. So I don't really know what it is. I know I have a concussion and a kidney infection, but I don't know what else is going on in my brain. And so that's what like the biggest scare was. I was scared for like a good 5 hours that I had like a brain bleed or like something else was going on. And I felt really guilty because I could have probably prevented it by getting checked out the day of the accident. So those are my injuries. I have a doctor appointment tomorrow. I'll probably vlog tomorrow just so you guys can see what happens and I can update you guys more. But yeah, so that's something I wanted to talk about, was the injuries, because I never mentioned any of it. Also, I wanted to say nobody else was involved. I ended up in a ditch. That's really it. Like, I took a really hard turn, and that's what made me hit my head a few times. I was not speeding, I was not on my phone, I was not under the influence, so this was purely just an accident. But yeah, I'm getting better. I'm back to filming, obviously, back to social media. I'm not back to work yet. I have to get some repairs on my car. I have to replace the alternator. And I also have to get an alignment done. I also might be going to LA, and so I'm really excited for that. You know, it's something I've been wanting to do. I have a friend of mine who lives in Virginia, which, if y'all didn't know, that's where I'm from. Virginia will always be home. Oregon is beautiful, I love it, but Virginia will always be home to me. I have a really good friend of mine that lives in Virginia that used to live in LA, and we're talking about moving to LA. So I'm not for sure when that's gonna happen, but it is in the works, and I'm pretty excited. I also have lots of videos coming up really soon, so subscribe. I will also be putting my YouUUUUU down below because I am going live a lot more recently and just chilling out with you guys, you know, doing things that I don't put out on here. I love you all so much. I have some amazing, crazy, funny, scary story times coming up, so be on the lookout for those. Follow me on all of my social media down below, including my Snapchat, because my Snapchat is the most exclusive content. You won't see anything else on any other platform that's on my Snapchat. Anyway, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for those of you that have reached out. It means a lot to me. It honestly was a really scary experience. I think I was in shock for like a few days because I just kept feeling like I was still in the accident. Like for the first 3-4 days, I still felt like I was spinning, you know, and it's really crazy what physically traumatic experiences, big or small, can affect you mentally. So I really did have to take a few days and take a break before coming back, just because that was my first car accident where I was driving. I've been in plenty where I was not driving, but that was my first one driving, and you know, you get a guilty feeling even if it's not your fault, you know. I love you all. We are on the road to 1K, so like and subscribe. I love you all.